Hello everybody and welcome to Retro Ratchet. So in this video I'm going to be introducing my latest addition to the fleet, the Volvo 460 2-litre GLT. Well, I guess the first question you guys are going to be asking is why? Why on earth would you buy one of these? Well, several reasons. First reason is anybody that subscribes to the channel will know I've got a real soft spot for Volvos of this era. Second reason, these are actually getting super rare now. The number I was given is there's probably only about 30 460s left on the road, maybe even less. And the last reason is this one is totally mint. Check the condition of this one out. 39,000 miles on the clock as well. And maybe the last question is so how much did you pay for it? Well, I'll let you know up front, this was £2,000. So put in the comments if you think that was too little or too much. Right, so let's move on with the video then. So let's rewind back to the day I bought it, which was actually 2 months ago. So I hope you enjoy it. Right, so let's get into this one. So I think like any budding car enthusiast, when you say you're going to reduce the size of your fleet, what that actually means is you're going to expand the size of your fleet and buy more cars. My logic was, if I'm selling the XC90, I really need another Volvo to replace it. Now, the Audi A4 was going to be the everyday car, but my logic is if you get older cars, you need more everyday cars in case the first one breaks down. So I think it's fair to get maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. Put in the comments how many I should get that are modern day retro cars that we can safely use as everyday transport. Right, so a little bit about this one. I'll do a separate video going into detail about the car. Found this one through Facebook Marketplace. Now, you never really know with Facebook Marketplace what you are buying. However, after a call with the owner, I was pretty confident that I was going to be getting a car that was as described. So we didn't have to travel too far and only a few miles from where we used to stay when we were in England. So we're now on our way back to Scotland. We've covered 61 miles out of the 180, 190-ish that we're going to go without hiccup. Right, back onto the car. So it's a 1994, it's a facelift. From memory, these facelifts only ran from 94 to 96. Don't ask me what was part of the facelift. All I know is that the bonnet looks different. Backlights look different as well, but I'll do a wee bit of research on that one for the next video to let you know. I think they look better. So it's a GLT, so that's the second top of the range. I don't know if that's a phrase. The CD was the one above it. So this one comes fairly well spec'd. Loads of toys in here. Again, we'll go through all this in a separate video. So yeah, it's a 2-litre Renault engine, 8 valve, fuel injected. It's got 39,000 miles, we might be hitting 40 by the time we get home. So 39,000 miles on the clock, 2 previous owners, first previous owner up till 3 years ago, and the car is mint. When I say mint, it is mint. I recall the 440 that I had about 15 years ago, that was rotten. The arches, it used to leak like a sieve. My 480 used to leak as well like a sieve. So I've actually been under this one when I went to buy it. It's had a good going over underneath and it's exactly as described. So thanks very much for that. Sills, floor pan, chassis areas, under the rear bumper, inner arches. It is like a brand new car. I mean, I was amazed by the Audi. I mean, it'll be interesting to compare the two to see which is in a better condition. I think this actually might pip it to the post. Now, the previous owner has done quite a bit of work to this car to get it up to the condition that it's in just now. Lots of engine work. The engine's been serviced, the timing belt has been done, we've had wishbones replaced, we've had the CV boot replaced, all the fluids replaced, the car's MOT'd. I'm going to be struggling to find anything to do on this, and content might actually be quite tricky. Most of my project content is welding, as you're aware, fixing problems. Yeah, this is going to be a wee bit tricky now. So let's go through the things I'm aware of so far. You might be able to pick up on that camera there. It looks like we are doing 0 miles an hour at the moment. So we have a faulty speedometer, which is fine because I've got the speed actually on my phone, and I know that 70 mile an hour is 3,000 RPM. So I'm doing about 65, 64 at the moment. The mileometer is still going up. So the problem doesn't seem to be in whatever the sender unit is on this car. It seems to be related to the speedometer itself. There's maybe a connection. I'm hoping it's a connection because this one is fitted with the digital display here, the little info center, which I think is quite rare. So I'm hoping it is an electrical issue. It's something as simple as a dry solder joint. Fingers crossed. So that will be the first job that gets done in the car, because that is super annoying having to use your phone and it gets in the way of filming. So there is that. What else did I find? I didn't actually find anything. One of the heater matrix pipes was leaking a little bit in the engine bay, but we nipped it up with a 7mm socket, and then that was resolved last time I stopped to check about 30 miles ago. Bodywork wise, the bodywork is mint except the offside rear quarter. That's been resprayed due to a little bit of damage. It wasn't accident damage, it was actually damage at the previous owner's house, which he made me aware of before I bought it. So that was fine. I was well aware that that was there, and that's going to need a repaint. There's a shade difference between that and the rest of the car, which I'm not too keen on. So I think I will get it booked in, get that quarter sorted out, and that kind of is all it needs. So already had 4 new tyres. All the kind of things that I would go through and replace myself. You know, the tyres, brakes have all been stripped and checked, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be running out of jobs. Speedometer in the rear quarter which I won't actually be doing myself. Detailing, I don't even think I'm going to get a detailing video out of this because it looks like it's been clay barred and polished. It was mint when I turned up. It has actually rained since I picked it up, so when we do a walk round it might not be as tidy as it was. So I don't know. Lots of driving videos. What's it like to drive a Volvo 460? Well, so I don't know. We're going to have to see what comes up. It could just be one I actually just drive and enjoy. You know, I mean, this thing, it drives like a new car. It's really bizarre. Oh, that was it. There was one other thing that I found as well. The tracking's a wee bit out. The steering wheel is off centre. That's no big deal itself, but it seems quite darty left and right, so I think the tracking, you know, is maybe towed in, because slight movements are making the car dart back and forward. So let's get the tracking done. It does have 4 brand new tyres on it, so we don't want to have them scuffed off anyway with a misalignment. But when was the last time you actually saw a Volvo 460 on the road, or a 440? 480s don't seem to be as rare now. There seems to be more of them coming up for sale, but the 440s and the 460s, you just don't see them, and you really don't see them in this genuine kind of unmolested condition that this one is in. It really is stunning. And I think for what I paid for it, I got an absolute bargain. I mean, any type of car in this condition with this mileage, for what I paid, would be a bargain. So I think we'll just use it in the summer, along with the Audi, you know, enjoy it. Maybe take it to some car shows. Maybe take it to some of the ones that are a little bit further away that I maybe wouldn't take the Maestro Turbo or the SD1. So that could just be the plan for it. The engine bay is quite neat and tidy. Might be the case of seeing if I can detail that engine bay, take it up another notch again. But I don't think there's going to be much in terms of improving this car to be had. These 2-litre 8-valve injected Renault engines, anybody that's owned one will know they're a real pleasure to drive. They're very torquey. They don't really rev out that much, but it's not the kind of car that, you know, you want to be chasing the high revs in anyway. It's great just plodding along in 5th gear, you know, put your foot down and you've got that torque to pull you along. this age of Volvo is just such a comfy place to sit in. You know, I love that Audi, but it's not quite as comfortable a driving position as this for me. Big, massive, squashy seats. They're brilliant. So guys, put in the comments, what do you think? A cool addition to the retro Ratchet fleet or naff? But yeah, flicking through this little info centre here, that's your engine temperature, that's shown 88, 89. It's been fluctuating a couple of degrees just the whole way along the road, so I'm not expecting any problems, certainly with overheating. You know, we're just going to take it easy, you know, 50, 60, 65 the whole way home. Because in the last couple of years, this car has only covered a couple of 100 miles. So it's going to cover all that in a few hours today. So it'll be interesting to see if anything transpires after that long journey. I mean, look at that. We've even got oil temperature. Oil temperature showing 98 degrees, range 125 miles. So I'll probably stick a wee bit more petrol in it. So 3 bars of fuel, but I guess that doesn't really tell us much. Speed average, it's in 25 mile an hour. Fuel average, now this is impressive. I don't know how accurate these are. I zeroed this when I left the previous owner's house. I've obviously been taking it easy, plodding along. 40.4 it's shown. Now he did tell me that he has done a long run and gotten well into the 40s on a long steady run, maybe 10 mile an hour under the speed limit. And I can well believe it. And the thing with these is they're a light car. I think they're just over 1,000 kilos, so 1,054 was what I read for these, give or take, you know, 10, 20 kilos. But a light car with, you know, we've got a low revving, you know, 2 litre in them. So, I mean, I think these figures are probably realistic. But how good is that going to be? I mean, 40 mile per gallon on a run. I'll tell you what it gets to when we get all the way through Edinburgh. I mean, the city bypass traffic will probably reduce that down quite a bit. But yeah, we're sitting at 40 there. Instant fuel, well, you know, that's floating about all over, 46 and stuff like that. But, you know, to be fair, I was expecting anything over 30. So anything over 30 for me, I'll be more than happy with. Right, guys, what do you think of the car, not the weather? Easy seeing we're back in Scotland. And it's pouring with rain now. So you'll just have to take my word, the car is mint. We'll do some close-ups here. One arch. This is arch that actually needs the paintwork doing on it just to match. Maybe see the colour difference. It's not that obvious. But yeah, the car is stunning. When did you last see one in this condition? And I just think they look so cool, especially with things like the, you know, the headlamp wiper motors on them as well. You never see that now. But it's proper retro. So you've Volvo badge there on the side. And those wheels do look pretty cool. And then going along to the back. I mean, check out that arch there. Not a spot of rust on it. And I've been under this car as well. And it's just as tidy underneath. No corrosion. Only thing we've got there is where a tow bar used to be, so I'll need to try and get that repaired if I can. Right guys, so fast forward a couple of hours and we are just about home. 189 miles extra on the clock. And I tell you what, it's just about to turn 40,000, poor old thing. So we've been hit by all sorts of weather today. You know, sunny, and now the minute that we got over the border in Scotland, literally the minute you leave Berwick, there's torrential rain. And the temperature has dropped to 6 degrees. Welcome home. So I have to say the Volvo's performed faultlessly. I'm at a loss what I'm going to do with this car. It seems to just function as a car, which is a very strange experience for me to own a car like that. But yeah, I had to put a bit extra petrol in it. We hit all that rain and wind, which knocked our mile per gallon down a wee bit, but it's indicating 38 and a bit. But I was pressing on there at the end, so I'm really happy with that. Oil temperature, engine temperature is still sitting at 90 degrees. We've had no issues whatsoever. I do need to get the squeaky wiper blade sorted though. And I have to say, it's been super comfy, no sore back. It's been a pleasant surprise picking up a 30-year-old car. I mean, these just don't look like they're 30-year-old, do they? And 200 miles, I mean, it's only done that couple of 100 miles in the last 3 years, so, you know, I've really put it through its paces today. You know, it's been stuck in traffic, it's been sat on the motorway at 70, it's been on A-class roads, and it's been, and it's tackling Scottish weather. So I'm hoping you'll find this Volvo 460 series interesting, and stay tuned for the next one.
Please like and subscribe.